Hello, everybody. It's Gary Stuckey with Real Music. I'm excited to tell you I've got a great guest today lined up for you. He's been on here before. He was the drummer for Lynyrd Skynyrd many years ago. And these days, he's got his own band, the Artimus Pyle Band. That's right, it's Artimus Pyle here today talking about a brand new album they've got coming out on February 2nd. It's called Anthems, honoring the music of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Got some pretty cool guests on there. Dolly Parton and Sammy Hagar and a lot more that you might know. So awesome. Yeah, going to be released on Groundhog's Day. So if you see Artemis with a groundhog and they see their shadow, it's 10 more weeks of cool Southern rock music. Just saying. Just kidding. But that's awesome, though. Some great songs there. Can't wait for it to come out. Need to check it out when it does come out. And that new song with Sammy Hagar singing Simple Man with the guys there. So good. Yeah, you need to listen to that. But here we go. Here he is. Here's Artimus Pyle.
You've got a brand new album coming out on February 2nd called Anthems, honoring the music of Lynyrd Skynyrd. I know you're excited about that release. You've been coming out with this for a while now. I think the last time I talked to you, you were working on it. So you're excited, right?
We've been working on it for, it seems like 10 years, but are we doing the interview now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to, I didn't want to repeat stuff. Navigating the Nashville way of doing things is not easy. It's very difficult. You have to get all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted, because you're working with 14 different artists, 14 different artist relations, 14 different record companies, 14 different management companies, right. 1,000 lawyers.
Right.
But we finally have it done. And February 2nd, Groundhog's Day, we're going to drop the album. Now there's about 3,000 copies of the album already out. We did pre-sales from last year when I talked to you.
Right. And
so the pre-sales went out, and then we have 1,500 vinyls available. And then February 2nd is our official drop date. So, the barn is already out of the horse. The horse is already out of the barn.
Right.
But the official drop date is February 2nd. And we worked really hard on this album. It wasn't easy. I was able to get Gary Rossington on Freebird with Dolly before we lost Gary, about 6 months ago.
Right.
He was the last founding member of Lynyrd Skynyrd. And that leaves me as the last living member of the band. And it's not a good feeling. It's a bad feeling, but it's a fact.
Right.
So my band, we've been together 15 years. Scott Rains, Jerry Lida, Brad Durden, and David Fowler, and myself, Artemis Gomer Pyle, USMC. Yeah. We are the basic track on every track on our new album, Anthems. And I love the name Anthems because Ronnie didn't just write hit songs or hit albums. He wrote songs that will be here. He wrote anthems, and they'll be here 1,000 years from now.
Right.
In my view.
Sure.
So, we're really glad that we were able to work with Dolly Parton's producer, Kent Wells. And he got me the best drum sound I've ever had, a big, fat Nashville drum sound.
Right.
And he worked with Dolly, as I say, for 35 years, and he was our producer on this. And once you open the door with having Dolly Parton sing Freebird, and she asked me if she could put it on her new rock album.
Right.
And, the whole band said, well, of course, So we're on Dolly's album, and Dolly's on our album. That's pretty cool. And we've got Sammy Hagar, Warren Haynes,
yes,
Ronnie Dunn from Brooks and Dunn. We've got Billy Ray Cyrus. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of fun people that recorded these songs. And I don't know, Gary. You may ask, why now would I record a whole bunch of Lynyrd Skynyrd songs?
Right.
And the answer is that Ronnie deserves it. And we put a little polish with modern recording techniques, and up in Nashville they have state-of-the-art production, so we were able to put a little shine on the songs and then bring in all of these great guest vocalists who put their best foot forward, for Ronnie, a fellow songwriter. So it was a very hard task. It was not easy at all, but it was worth it. So that's where we're holding at this point.
Awesome. So how did you decide all the people that were going to be on this album? How did you get together with those people? I know you talked about Darley, but did they say, I want to be on this album? How did you, like Sammy, how did he do the song Simple Man, right? How did he decide to? I'm sure he was thrilled.
Yes, he chose it. I've known Sammy for years when we used to tour with Ronnie Montrose and the band Montrose. Sammy was in that band.
Right.
And then he went on to, Follow the Yellow Brick Road. And he's just a great singer, and he loved Ronnie. So, his performance, you can hear the cry in his voice. When he's singing Simple Man, and he puts his spin on it, and Dolly puts her spin on Freebird. And once Dolly opens the door, and you say, well, we've got Dolly singing Freebird. She is the number one humanitarian in the world. Singer, songwriter, plays guitar as good as a man. She's a movie star. She's everything. And once that door opens, then people, there in Nashville wanted to, I'd like to be on that record if
Sure.
Dolly's singing Freebird.
Sure.
So, it was easy. And, I wanted Neil Young. I wanted Bob Dylan. I wanted Jack White.
Yeah.
I wanted all kinds of people on the record. But the people that we have on the record, we all wanted them.
Yeah.
And it goes from, rock singers to Dolly to country to Brooks and Dunn, Ronnie Dunn singing Sweet Home Alabama,
Right.
did an incredible job. And, we only had room for a certain amount of people. We have a girl from up in Canada, Lindsay L., that sang Needle in the Spoon, and she's 33 years old, drop dead gorgeous. She went out with Brad Paisley on a tour, and she's good. And she played a guitar solo on Needle in the Spoon, and she sang it. And she reminds me of kind of a Sheryl Crow voice, very clear and easy to understand the words. And so, we had we covered the gambit, on the album with people. But, like Neil Young and Bob Dylan and Jack White, their schedules, they just couldn't do it because of scheduling.
Right.
But we're happy with the people that we've got. I mean, my God, it's some of the greatest performers. And I think we did 13 or 14 songs. And it, as I said, man, it wasn't easy, but it was worth it.
Sure. And talking about Dolly, I mean, for her, being on her album, you're getting double exposure with that album. But for her to record Freebird, and you've got Ronnie's voice on there, you got Gary's guitar on there. That's got to be a special moment to have all those ingredients together in a song, and you're playing with them. It's got to be special, right?
Well, when I was at Gary Rossington's service down in Florida with my two guitar players, Jerry Lida and Scott Rains, we went down to represent the band and be there for Gary. And I bought a brand new suit and a brand new hat. I wanted to look good for Gary.
Right.
And he was 71 years old. And to get him his slide solo on there with Dolly on Freebird, and then on Dolly's version on her album, they dropped with the permission from Judy Van Zandt, Ronnie's widow. She gave permission to drop a vocal that was owned by a guy out in Los Angeles. And Kent Wells, Dolly's producer, and Dolly checked with this guy in LA when she was out there being inducted in the Hall of Fame and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Judy signed off on it. So on Dolly's version, on her album, she has 30 songs on her rock album. We're last. We're number 30, which is, that's where Freebird should be. After Freebird, it's time to go home.
Yeah, right.
So, to get Dolly Parton singing with Ronnie on Freebird with the arrangement that we came up with, which is a beautiful arrangement for Dolly, and having Gary, his iconic slide solo, was just over the moon. And on our album, it's just Dolly and Gary. I say just, but
right.
we didn't put Ronnie's vocal in on our album. We talked about it, and we felt like for our album, let's make it a little bit different, and let's make Dolly's album really special.
Right.
And so it was kind of cool being on a #1 album in the world, not on every format, but on a lot of formats across the planet.
Yeah.
Dolly was #1 there for when she dropped her album for a few weeks,
right.
and that felt good. And so that was special, having Ronnie's vocal in on there. And on our album, every song is for Ronnie and a tribute to him. So we figured that it balanced out.
Yes, and what I've heard sounds awesome.
Thank you, man. That means a lot.
Well, tell me this now. Now, you are, of course, a survivor of that horrible plane crash back in October 20th, 1977. Now, I know you talked about it earlier. You're the last survivor. The album Street Survivors had just come out whenever you survived. Would you consider yourself a survivor through all these things, and how do you represent yourself as that, a survivor?
Well, I don't brag about it. Being the last living member of Lynyrd Skynyrd is not a good feeling. It's a bad feeling.
Right.
But, we are honoring them with this album. We're honoring everybody, Gary and Alan and Leon and Billy and Steve and all the girls and, and of course, Ronnie. So, I feel very good about doing that and representing. I'm 75 years old and I still play drums like I'm 35.
Yes.
I thank God I'm still able to slam bang, and play these songs the way they're supposed to be played. And I say, as I say, APB, the 5 of us play the music better than any band in the world. So, it's an honor to honor them. And, we're going to continue to do that. And, we travel all over the country in our bus. We have a 1999 Prevost. We call her Pearl. We keep her really clean. We run a tight ship, and she's fast. And so, it's we do what we do, and we're very good at it. We have a great crew. Our crew plays, all of them are musicians too. So we have the best of all worlds when we go out and play. And everybody loves the band. When we open up back, before Charlie Daniels passed away, we would do shows and open up for Charlie at festivals, and the people would hear the songs and hear the way we do it, and they would come forward on us. 40,000 people,
right.
And they would hear the way we're playing the songs, and they would come forward and fist bump and sing every word, because Ronnie didn't write a bad song. And his songs are anthems. As I say, they'll be here 1,000 years from now. So, we love what we do. I'm having more fun playing drums now than I ever have in my life. I have a beautiful set. We have an amazing crew. We have the best band. And we there are bands out there that call themselves Lynyrd Skynyrd, that won't play the places we play because they don't get paid $200,000.
Right.
We get paid, but we don't do it for the money. And I didn't do Anthems for the money. All of the money from Anthems, the lion's share of these songs, go to the children and grandchildren of my friends that are in rock and roll heaven.
Wow.
Their children and grandchildren will benefit from the album Anthems because the royalty from these songs, because we did everything correctly on the mechanicals and the licensing fees and the royalties, everything will go to the children and grandchildren for the writers of these songs. And I didn't do it for money. I did it as a true tribute. So, we will continue to travel the world playing these songs. I did an interview with Sydney, Australia, Athens, Greece, Edinburgh, Scotland, the UK, Nottingham, and all of them love the album and want us to come, bring this band, APB, the five of us. They want to bring us around the world because the consensus is that this album is one of the greatest tribute albums ever made.
Yeah.
And I agree, because of the strength of the vocalists like Sammy and Ronnie Dunn from Brooks and Dunn, and of course Dolly and Warren Haynes. It's just it's a very strong effort, and it wasn't easy to do, man, but we got it done.
Well, thank God that you did, because it sounds awesome, and I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of it. And you're a talented guy. You're a survivor, and you're awesome. And I'm glad you're continuing the name and the fact that you're doing it for the right reasons. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, that's so cool, man.
I appreciate that, man. And, I always say thank to guys like you, thank you for keeping our music alive. The radio stations around the country, all of the interviewing formats and everything, still keep Lynyrd Skynyrd alive. And we're just hoping that this album will put a little shine on the songs and get a little more airplay out there, because we understand no band is going to play these songs better than the original Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Right.
Nobody's going to sing these songs better than Ronnie, but it is a definite tribute, to the band. And that's what we meant it to be, and that's what it is.
Well, congratulations on the success of that. I know it's going to be awesome, coming out February 2nd, and I'm looking forward to it, and hope all the best for you as you tour, and I hope everybody really gets a chance to listen to all those songs. Okay, congratulations on that.
Well, thank you, Gary. You're in Alabama right now, right?
That's right. Home of William Lee Golden of the Oak Ridge Boys, Bruton, Alabama.
Oh man, I love those guys. I did a video with them one time for Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Called "We Are Young Country."
Okay.
And Les Paul was in it.
Yeah.
Walter Payton was in it. The Goldens were in it.
Right.
Skynyrd was in it. My son Marshall was in it. He was only 12 years old at the time.
Cool.
He's in that video. So, yeah, man. Well, we love Alabama. Hope to be down there playing soon. If you see us playing anywhere near you, please come and see us, and we'll roll out the red carpet for you.
That sounds,
and I think you'll love the way the band does the music.
Sure, I will definitely do that, man. I thank you so much, though. And
you got my info, so call me anytime.
I sure will. Thank you so much. You have a good day.
See you, buddy.
All right, man. All right, bye.
See you in a minute.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. What a guy, Artimus Pyle. Check out his website for more information, and join him on social media to catch up with him. His new album, though, coming out on February 2nd, called Anthems, honoring the music of Lynyrd Skynyrd. You check him out on tour. I'm going to be out there somewhere, hopefully, and see how great this band is. And until next time, everybody, always remember to keep the music real.